It is New Jersey's oldest legend, appearing even before the 13 colonies. The New Jersey Devil has dwelled in the Pine Barrens for over 100 years. Many have claimed that he is as real as you and I.
So I believe there's something down here.
And many claim that it's just a hoax.
I am not a believer in the Jersey Devil.
Either way, it's sparked the interest of many research teams and enthusiasts alike. We dive into the legend that is the New Jersey Devil and find out what exactly it is.
When the sun goes down and the air gets still, and the hollow call of the whippoorwill sends a chill up your spine. Get ready, it's time for the Pine Barrens night. And it makes you want to run and hide. Find a safer place somewhere inside, away from what could be. That son of Mrs. Lee, still here in the Pine Barrens night.
The Pine Barrens, a beautiful but thick swampy forest that covers 22% of New Jersey. It is a quiet and peaceful forest, a place to enjoy nature and all of its beauty it has to offer. However, there's a darker side to this tranquil piece of land. Over 100 years ago, a woman known as Mother Leeds was pregnant with her 13th child. She exclaimed, "Let it be the devil," while in labor. The child was born normal at first, blonde hair and blue eyes. However, a few moments after birth, he began to morph into this ghastly creature. He devoured most of the people in the room before he escaped through the chimney and into the Pine Barrens, where he has lived to this day. Over the years, this creature has gained a reputation around New Jersey. He has many sightings, dating even further back than the settlement of the colonists. However, there are many that are skeptical about the Jersey Devil. Chris Miggis has frequented the Pine Barrens many times before. He has completed several survival courses in the wild Pine Barrens with nothing but his bare hands and wits.
So, on the subject of the Jersey Devil, I am not a believer in the Jersey Devil. I think it's really cool, the legends, the myth. It just adds to the mystique of the Pine Barrens, to its mystery. We would find some evidence of him, and there is none. There are no kills. We're assuming he's a man-eater, not a man-eater, but a carnivore or omnivore. There are no kills. There are no tracks. Every animal that touches the ground is going to leave a track.
To many, there is an explanation as to what the New Jersey Devil can actually be. Mike is the owner of the store underground in Smithville. Mike sells plenty of Jersey Devil merchandise. He offers his thoughts on what the Jersey Devil could actually be.
We've seen weird stuff. We were walking the dog one day and saw a very large owl, larger than any owl should be, that had a wingspan of, probably looked like 6 feet or so.
Still, there have been so many reports on sightings of the New Jersey Devil for well over 100 years. And despite the span of time the New Jersey Devil legend has lasted, there are many that are still strongly believe in the creature. In fact, there are still many reported sightings of him today. Chris Rolke is a college student in the area. He has spent a lot of his time in the Pine Barrens.
I 100% believe in the Jersey Devil and other things like it.
Chris has never actually seen the Jersey Devil himself, but like many of the students in the area, he keeps up with all the latest sightings.
There was an article in the newspaper, I think it was within the last 4 months, and people were talking about it, and it was like a zoomed-in, blurry picture, and I know there was an article about it.
Many would find this latest sighting to be a hoax. However, there are many that truly believe in the creature and have in fact seen it. Paul Pedersen is a published author of the book Legendary Pine Barrens. He has also written many songs about this mysterious place. But it was his encounter with the New Jersey Devil that caught his attention and attracted him even further into the pines.
Ever since I was a fireman in Lakeland, and we had two ladies thrown off their horses by what they reported to be the Jersey Devil. So it's officially reported in the Camden County Fire Marshal's office that the Jersey Devil threw these, it was a lady and her daughter, and they were riding their horses up on the other side of the fire station, and we heard the commotion and went back to see what happened, and there they were on the ground brushing themselves off, and we said, what happened? Why'd your horses throw you? Well, this thing came out of the woods and scared the horses, and the horses reared up and off we went. So that was from that time on, I became very interested in the Jersey Devil. I've had the experience with him with in the fire station. I had something in my cellar one time when I was babysitting my sister, and I went through that on Monsters and Mysteries in America. They did an episode of it. I had an experience with my stepson that was chased up my street by something that was stalking him. And here recently I was doing a book signing in this area, and we were going up Route 561 with me and my publisher, and we saw something cross the road. I don't know what it is, and he doesn't either. He won't admit to it. But we both just looked at each other and went, did you see that? Yeah, we saw, definitely.
The New Jersey Devil seems as if he still roams the pines to this day. Even some of his bloodlines still live in the Pine Barrens. Author Bill Sprouse is a descendant of Mother Leeds.
My grandmother was a Leeds from Leeds Point when I was a little kid. She had a sense of humor, and she told us that we were all distantly related to the Jersey Devil.
Bill isn't interested in finding out if the New Jersey Devil is real or not. Rather, he spends his time looking at how this myth has intertwined itself with history.
And it goes into the possible origins of the story with Daniel Leeds and some of the fights that he was in with the Quakers, and some of the fights that one of his children was in with Benjamin Franklin. And it's also a history of the story. It kind of traces the way the story has evolved over the years. When I was starting out Galloway Township, where we are, there was an initiative to name the town the hometown of the Jersey Devil. So it was sort of a symbol of regional identity, pride, and everything like that.
But sightings of old NJ still flood the archives of a very well-known magazine in New Jersey, Weird NJ.
This is Mark Moran, and I'm Mark Skirman.
Or the other way around.
And we're going to talk about the infamous Jersey Devil. Now, you know, with the magazine, we get a lot of stories up until the present day about people in the Pine Barrens camping at night, hearing some strange sounds and sights and
Unearthly.
yeah, so it's still prevalent today. I mean, is it a legend? Is it real? I tend to think there is something out there. There is something that just when you're camping in the Pine Barrens in the dead of night and you hear something, you always think it's something supernatural. So I tend to believe that it's supernatural. It is the Jersey Devil.
I don't, I don't put a lot of credence in those newspaper articles, like from the 1909 incident, because it seemed like a mass hysteria thing where people were feeding on other people's stories and adding to it. I put more credence in the letters that we get from our readers, New Jersey residents, which are extremely vivid and believable, and these people have no reason to lie to us. So, and they
just want to tell
they're
their
legitimate people, you know, and they tell these stories. And some of them are cops. We've had people who worked on military bases like McGuire or Fort Dix. And they'll tell you, you know, well, you know, I got off my shift at 2 in the morning, and I was, you know, driving home, and I all of a sudden, you know, there's this creature in the middle of Route 70, or you know, something like that.
On the side of the road. I remember one story. Thing said it had this big wings, and this was a police thing, and this big wings just crawled out onto the side of the road and just like took off. So he doesn't really have any reason to.
Yeah, I mean, we're not paying anybody for their story.
The stories haven't stopped coming in. Mark and Mark of Weird and Jay are right in saying, what reason do these people have to make up stories? Seeing things like this change a person for life. One recent sighting changed this young man forever.
So, it was actually on Halloween. I was driving down the road with my friends, and we were driving down Leeds Point. When all of a sudden, I was looking down the forest, and I saw bat wings. Like, literally bat wings. I was like, is that? No, it can't be.
Still, we wonder if the Jersey Devil is really out there. However, if there were ever a place for this creature to hide, the Pine Barrens would be the place for him.
I've told some stories and I've sung some songs, mostly about places where I don't belong.
I think we have a treasure, knowing that it's so close to us, like it's all around us. So this is all we call Mother Earth Big Mom. This is all Big Mom's juice out there. This is some of her power and strength, some of her smells, some of her all how the earth feels under your feet. You know, these things we need to give respect for. Without those, we have nothing. We have nothing.
Lines on the pines.
These Pine Barrens hold wonderful secrets. There is no way to describe the beauty within them. The only way to truly understand is to take a visit yourself. We might not have a definitive answer on the existence of the old New Jersey Devil. However, his legend lives on in the Pine Barrens forever.
Like those from the city.